Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today is Friday, I'm at the shop and I thought it was a good time to give you an update on the KE70. I know I've been slacking a lot with the updates lately, and it's partially because maybe not a huge amount of things has happened to the car, but some stuff has definitely happened, and I know you've been asking for updates, so I thought it would be good to do another episode and bring you up to speed on the KE70 build. So let's get going and see what happened. So, what has happened since we talked last time? The car, as you see, looks quite the same as it did before. We haven't stripped it down that much yet. But one of the things we managed to find was that we actually discovered a S13 complete rear suspension. We're talking subframe, suspension arms, drive shaft and all of that stuff complete in close to Gothenburg for a really good price as well. So the thing we did, we brought it home, we got it into the garage, stripped it down of all the parts. You excited? Disassembled it completely because we have a friend called Patricio Araya. He has helped me a bit before with some sandblasting, and he was friendly enough to help me this time as well. He took the parts up to his work and helped me to sandblast them. So as you can see here, we have a complete set of parts for the rear suspension for the S13. So we have a sandblasted subframe, we have the control arms, the sway bar, we even found the front subframe as well, or what you call it, cross member I mean, and also a steering rack. So also want to do a shout out to Linus for hooking me up with these parts for a good price as well. As you can see, the knuckles aren't sandblasted, but that's because I'm going to do that separately, and I thought it wasn't I know a place where I can sandblast them without a problem for myself, so that's good because this is kind of the main puzzle piece of the build. One of the things that's going to be done first is that we're actually going to rework the subframe and shorten it 10 centimeters to lose some track width, because it's so much wider than the K70 stock rear axle, and if we were to go with that width, we would have the wheels out here if we're doing some kind of wide wheels. So that's the main reason for that, but the reason we're shortening it in the middle is to get the geometry to sit good on the car still, and not ruin it by shortening the arms and stuff like that. So that's the first part. After that, we were in the shop, and I wanted to rip out the engine. So we had a day where some friends were going to come down and visit us in the garage. So I did some updates during that day. So let's get to and see what happened during those days. What's up, guys? Good morning. Today it's Thursday. We have a day off. It's a holiday here in Sweden, so I just got to the garage. Today's mission is gonna be to get that little thing out of the car. We're gonna rip out the engine today, but before that we actually managed to borrow the corner weight scales of my sponsor ATK Drifttechnik. So we're going to put the K70 on the scales. We're going to see how much it weighs in stock condition, right, how it sits right now, to have something to compare before and after the rebuild is done. So let's get the engine out and if I think correctly, there's some guys coming today, so it's gonna be a good day. So let's get changed into some proper workwear and get to work. Does your nose hurt?
Yes, it is.
Wax off.
Yep.
Alright, we got the car up on the scales and we just found out the weight. I knew it was going to be light, but I never thought it was this light, but check this number out, it's fucking insane. 867 kilos and it's completely stuck really. It's we even added the S13 front end, so it's bigger discs and knuckle and some other stuff that weighs a little bit more than stock, but we're off to a really good start. Of course it's going to be heavier because we're adding some stuff like the separate subframe and stuff, but we're putting in a lighter engine and a lighter gearbox, so yeah, it's going to be great. So yeah, now we know the weight, let's get that engine out. Well, we decided to weigh the engine separate so you know how much the engine package weighed before we changed it. So this one is a 4KC, it's a 4-speed gearbox, it's the stock engine for the K70. It comes in at 127 kilos, so that's pretty interesting. The new engine is full aluminium, both cylinder head and block, and also we're running an S2000 gearbox, so I think actually it's going to be a lighter setup, the engine package, but we're going to lose some weight on the rear axle conversion, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. Back in the garage. I just took the car off the jack stands and we're gonna try to clean off the engine bay and make that ready for some work that's coming up, of course. So we're gonna try to just power pressure wash it as good as we can and get all of that dirt off. So as you can see, it's pretty dirty, but I'm quite excited because today we got some new stuff from Car Care Products. This is their Extreme Wheel Clean. I know that's not a rim, but we've been using this on some, the test sample we got from them is really good, and we're going to try to use this on the little bit more dirty stuff on the car. So it's going to be exciting to try. Hopefully it works out good. So let's get to cleaning. So with the engine out, I was able to see the whole engine compartment, and as I was thinking, it looks really good. There's only some dirt and some other debris in the engine compartment, but nothing that's not unfixable. It's definitely going to be interesting to compare how it looks now compared to when it's completely done after the build. I'm going to try to do some good shooting now and have something to compare with in the end. But stoked to see it in that good condition. Another thing that we have been doing since our last update was also that we stripped the engine completely apart. This was of course done before the last video as well, but the thing we have done since last time was that we took the cylinder head down to the machine shop and made sure that everything is sealed up and good. Everything looks really good about the K20 head that we're going to be using. We're probably just gonna strip it apart, give it a good clean, maybe do some simpler porting, but that's nothing that's necessary for this first step. Also the K24 bottom end looks really good as well. I don't really know that much about the open deck versions of engines like this before, so we're gonna do probably do a resurface of the block just to make sure it's good. Also going to try to speak to some people that know them better and see what they recommend as well. But the engine overall looks really good and I'm stoked about that. So that was quite a quick update on the car. As I said, not super much has happened, but I'm going to try to make some good steps in the upcoming weeks. We have some things that's going to change for us. We're actually looking at a new shop, and we actually were at a showing of a new shop 2 days ago, and it looks really good. So hopefully everything goes through with that shop and we actually get to drop out of this lease as quickly as possible. Then of course it's going to be quite a lot of time put into the shop to make it work for us. But I know it's going to be definitely a better shop than it is today. And also the best thing, that's actually the reason we're changing, is that it's a lot cheaper than this. So that will help me finish these projects faster, and also it will be easier for me to maintain my hobby. So we're going to keep you updated on that as soon as possible as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and let me know if I missed out on something. And talk to you soon.